No Way Out, the 4,000-mile death trip of Sonia Exelby, a one-way ticket. Imagine for a moment the darkest corner of the human mind, the place where pain becomes so unbearable that the end doesn't just look like a release, it looks like a destination. Now, imagine traveling 4,000 miles to reach that destination. On October 10, 2025, a 32-year-old woman named Sonia Exelby boarded a plane. She left her home in Southsea, Portsmouth, in the United Kingdom, and flew across the Atlantic to Florida. She wasn't going for Disney World. She wasn't going for the beaches. She was flying to meet a man she knew only from the dark web of fetish sites, a man she called Mentor. The police say Sonia traveled there with a singular, horrific purpose: to be sexually abused, tortured, and killed. It sounds like a death pact, a consensual end. That is certainly what the man waiting for her at the airport, Dwayne Hall, wants the world to believe. But there is a twist in this nightmare. A twist that turns this from a tragedy of mental illness into a cold-blooded, first-degree murder. Because just 24 hours after landing, deep in the woods of Marion County, the fantasy shattered. Sonia woke up. She realized she didn't want to die. She realized the man she trusted wasn't a mentor, he was a monster. And when she tried to back out, she found out that her consent no longer mattered. Today, we are looking at the heartbreaking final days of Sonia Exelby, the messages she sent from a cabin in the woods, begging for a way out, and the chilling evidence that proves this wasn't a suicide, it was a trap. I am from the Justice and Injustice channel, and this is the story of the girl who changed her mind and the man who wouldn't let her go. Please like and subscribe if you're new to the channel. The Vulnerable and the Predator. To understand how we end up in a shallow grave in Florida, we have to look at who Sonia Exelby was. Friends and family describe her as kind, creative, but deeply, deeply troubled. Sonia had battled severe mental health struggles for years. She was vulnerable. And in the digital age, vulnerability acts like blood in the water. Sonia spent time on fetish websites. Now, we need to be careful here not to judge the kink community, but we also have to acknowledge that these anonymous spaces can be hunting grounds. About 2 years ago, Sonia connected with a user online, an American man, Dwayne Hall. He was 53 years old. He lived in Ocala, Florida. On the surface, Hall had a life. He had a wife, Ginger Stein, whom he'd been with since 2014. He had a business. He had ties to the community. But online, he was something else. He positioned himself as a mentor. Listen to that word, mentor. It implies guidance, protection, wisdom. He told police later that he was trying to help Sonia. He claimed he wanted to show her that life was worth living. But his actions, the cold, hard data of what he did, tell a completely different story. They communicated for 2 years. The conversations escalated. They moved from bondage to suicide, from fantasy to reality. Sonia expressed a desire to be killed, to have someone end the pain for her. Now, a responsible human being, hearing this, calls for help. They call the authorities. They try to save the person. Dwayne Hall didn't do that. Dwayne Hall told her to get on a plane. He knew she was coming. He knew she was bringing money. And he knew she was alone. The shopping list of death. Let's zoom in on October 10th. This is the day Sonia lands in the U.S. But before her plane even touches the tarmac, Dwayne Hall is busy. If you want to know a person's true intentions, don't listen to what they say in an interrogation room. Look at what they buy at Walmart. Surveillance footage and bank records capture Hall at a Walmart in Gainesville. This is hours before he picks Sonia up. He isn't buying welcome snacks. He isn't buying flowers. He buys gun cleaner. He buys rope. He buys Lume spray, a deodorant often used to mask strong odors. He leaves the store. He goes to his car. And then, minutes later, He walks back inside. He forgot something. He buys a shovel. Let that sink in. Sonia is still in the air. She hasn't asked him to do anything yet in person. They haven't had their discussion at the cabin yet, but he already has the shovel. This is the smoking gun for premeditation. This wasn't a fetish gone wrong. This was a prepared disposal of a human being. He drives to Gainesville Regional Airport. License plate readers ping his vehicle. He picks Sonia up. I want you to picture that moment. Sonia, exhausted from a transatlantic flight, carrying the weight of her depression, stepping into the Florida heat. She sees the man she trusts. Her mentor. She gets in his car. She has no idea that the tool intended to bury her is already in the trunk. The cabin and the vanilla lie. Hall drives Sonia to an Airbnb in Reddick, Florida. It's a rural area. Isolated. Trees, dirt roads, distance from neighbors. The perfect place for someone to disappear. What happened inside that cabin over the next 24 hours is a mix of Hall's self-serving lies and the brutal truth left on digital recordings. In police interviews, Hall tried to play the reluctant participant. He told detectives they had sex multiple times. He called it vanilla. He said he felt guilty because of his wife, Ginger. He painted a picture of a sad, suicidal woman pushing him to do things he didn't want to do. But the police found a video. Hall had deleted it, but forensic tech is a wonderful thing. They recovered it. And what it shows is not a vanilla encounter. The video was recorded on October 11th. In it, Sonia is disheveled. She is covered in bruises on her face, her neck, her breasts. This was not vanilla. She had been beaten. In the video, Hall is behind the camera. He is interviewing her. It's a disclaimer video. He is trying to cover his tracks before the crime has even been fully committed. He asks her why she is there. Sonia, looking down, voice trembling, says, "Because I'm an awful person. I've crushed everyone who ever loved me." He asks her how she wants to die. She hesitates. You can see the fear in her eyes. She says she wants to be stabbed. Hall pushes her. He asks, "This is how you wanted to die, right? You wanted to be beaten and made to suffer because you're such a piece of SD." She answers, "I needed to be beaten and suffer 'cause I'm such a piece of stee." And Hall replies, "Good, good." The police affidavit notes that Sonia looks subdued. She looks terrified. She swallows hard. She is tearing up. This isn't the look of someone embracing their fantasy. This is the look of a hostage reciting a script. The Discord messages. A cry for help. And this is where the heart of the tragedy lies. Because while Hall was recording his insurance policy, Sonia was secretly reaching out to the world. She had a phone. Or at least, access to one when Hall wasn't looking. She logged onto Discord, a messaging platform, and messaged a friend. These messages are devastating. They dismantle Hall's entire defense. On October 11th, the day after she arrived, she wrote, "I'm sorry he keeps taking my phone. He doesn't trust me with it. He made it clear there was no way out unless I shoot him. I was questioning it last night. I was questioning it. She changed her mind." She continues, "I can't kill anyone. He's in the shower, but I'm locked in and there is no signal in the middle of nowhere. I thought he'd do it quick and not give my mind time to stew, and realize this is the last thing I'll ever say to anyone if I don't take his offer of shooting him. He showed me how to use it and where to aim. This is psychological torture." Hall was playing a game. He was telling her, "You can leave, but only if you shoot me." He knew she couldn't do it. He knew she wasn't a killer. He was trapping her in a moral cage. Her final messages are a chaotic spiral of fear. "I'm so scared, I'm so broken, and in so much pain, all I can do is play here and doing what he wants. Makes him respect me enough not to do the things I really hate. I'm sorry, I don't even know what I am saying, and I'm trying to be quick, and my time's up. My time's up. Sonia Exelby didn't want to die that day. She was scared. She was in pain. She was being controlled. She realized she had made a terrible mistake, but the mentor she flew 4,000 miles to see had no intention of letting her book a flight home. Why? Was it just the thrill of the kill? Or was there something else? Follow the money. Hall was in debt. He owed the IRS. He allegedly told police Sonia was supposed to bring $4,000 to help him with his debts. When she arrived, he tried to withdraw money. He got about $1,200, around 900 pounds. He became irate that she didn't have the full amount. He killed her for a twisted fantasy, yes, but he also killed her because he couldn't get the cash he wanted. The shallow grave, October 13th, came and went. That was the day Sonia was supposed to fly back to the UK. She never boarded. Her boyfriend, Stevie Hunt, and her friends in the UK knew something was wrong immediately. They knew she was vulnerable. They knew she had gone to meet someone. Stevie posted a desperate plea on Instagram. Sonia is such a vulnerable person. We believe she has arranged to meet someone there and has got herself into an extremely vulnerable situation. UK police contacted Interpol. Interpol contacted the Florida Department of Law Enforcement, FDLE. The investigation moved fast, remarkably fast. They tracked the credit card usage. They tracked the car rental. They found Dwayne Hall. On October 17th, just 1 week after she landed, they found Sonia. She was in a wooded area in Marion County. A shallow grave. The autopsy confirmed the brutality of her final moments. She hadn't been put to sleep gently. She had been stabbed 4 times with a knife. November 17th, Hall was arrested for the kidnapping and homicide of Sonia Exelby. November 18th, a judge issued no bond for Hall, meaning he will stay in jail as he awaits trial. When police questioned Hall, his story was a mess. First, he claimed he didn't know her. He said he picked up a hitchhiker, a random woman whose credit cards didn't work, so he tried to help her. Then, as the evidence mounted, the story shifted. He admitted he knew her. He admitted the sex. He admitted the death wish. But he refused to admit to the murder. When asked if he killed her, he simply said, "She's happy now because she got what she wanted." He even told police that if he had been forced to help her, he would have taken her to Alligator Alley so the wildlife would dispose of the body. A chilling glimpse into how he views human life as something to be discarded and consumed. The evidence trail. Hall thought he was smart. He thought the suicide pact defense would work. He thought deleting the video would save him. But he left a trail of evidence so wide you could drive a truck through it. First, the shovel. Remember the shovel he bought at Walmart? He left the manufacturer, tagged the literal price tag sticker right next to Sonia's body in the grave. The police matched the SKU on the tag to the receipt from Walmart and the surveillance footage of him buying it. Then the DNA. They found the shovel in his garage. It had Sonia's DNA on it. But the most damning piece of evidence traveled across state lines. After the murder, Hall mailed a package to a friend in Ohio. Maybe he thought getting the murder weapon out of Florida would save him. Shutterstock police intercepted the package. Inside, they found a 7-inch Tonto-style blade. It was engraved with the phrase, "Dorkworth pointy end goes in the other guy." A joke. A sick joke engraved on a weapon. And on that blade, Sonia Exelby's blood. They also found Hall's jailhouse calls. He called his wife, Ginger, and told her to look out for a package from a friend in 6 months. He was trying to coordinate his cover-up from behind bars. His wife, Ginger Stein. That's another layer. Hall told police his violent tendencies went away when she got sick in August. He claimed to be a devoted husband. Yet on his jail intake form, he listed himself as single, a liar to the end in every aspect of his life. Conclusion: the illusion of consent. Dwayne Hall has been charged with first-degree murder and kidnapping. He has pleaded not guilty. He sits in a cell, likely still believing he can manipulate the narrative. He will likely argue in court that this was assisted suicide, that he was a mentor fulfilling a wish. But the law and basic humanity sees it differently. You cannot consent to be murdered. And even if you could, Sonia revoked that consent. The Discord messages prove it. The hesitation in the video proves it. Sonia Exelby was a woman in pain who went looking for an end to her suffering. Instead, she found a predator who exploited her vulnerability, stole her money, beat her, and took her life when she tried to back out. This case is a stark, terrifying reminder of the dangers lurking behind the anonymity of the Internet. It is a reminder that depression is a liar, but people like Dwayne Hall are worse. Sonia's body has been found, but the questions remain. How many other mentors are out there? And how do we protect the vulnerable from walking into the woods with them? Justice for Sonia isn't just about a verdict. It's about recognizing that her life mattered, that her hesitation mattered, and that no means no, even in the darkest of circumstances. Thank you for confronting this abyss with me. In memory of Sonia Exelby,